Number 11. Gary Sims. In 2014, former Royal Marine Gary Sims choked to death during an impromptu pickled egg swallowing competition. The incident took place in Berkeley, Gloucestershire, England. 55-year-old Sims had ordered 6 eggs while playing a game at an establishment called the Boar's Head Inn, where he was a regular. He had swallowed 3 eggs, but quickly began to choke. His friends intervened and called the emergency services, while a staff member attempted the Heimlich maneuver. The technique can prove to be a vital intervention if someone is choking. Repeated thrusts, applied on the abdomen above the navel, expel air from the lungs, which force the obstruction out. Unfortunately, Sims's airways couldn't be cleared in time, in spite of subsequent efforts made by the paramedics. He died in the ambulance from cardiac arrest brought on by asphyxia. Number 10. Edward Archbold. 32-year-old Florida man Edward Archbold died in October of 2012 following a competition in which he ate live worms and cockroaches. The contest was organized by the Ben Siegel Reptile Store in Deerfield Beach, and the grand prize was an ivory ball python. Archbold was reportedly trying to win the snake, worth an estimated $850, so that he could give it as a present to one of his friends. The creepy crawlies had all been raised in sterile conditions, which presumably made them safe for human consumption. Nevertheless, competitors had been asked to sign waivers recognizing the risk of allergic reaction, gastrointestinal sickness, or pain associated with passing them through the esophagus. Archbold ate dozens of mealworms, superworms that were 3 inches long, and numerous discoid roaches. He was downing them with such speed that he had to cover his mouth to prevent them from crawling out. The father of 2 won the contest, but fell ill as soon as he stepped out of the store. He was rushed to a hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Archbold was initially suspected to have suffered an allergic reaction to the massive amount of foreign protein he'd ingested. However, an autopsy would later reveal that he'd suffered asphyxia caused by choking. Number 9. Alexandra Udina. In February of 2020, Russian woman Alexandra Udina died in a speed eating competition at a Moscow bar. Reports claimed that the 23-year-old, who'd recently graduated medical college with a paramedic qualification, hadn't planned on joining the contest when she went out on Saturday night. One local media outlet reported that she'd been diagnosed with leukemia a few months prior. Udina had reportedly told friends that she wanted to take advantage of every opportunity to have fun. She and 2 other contestants were each given 3 choco pies, cakes with a marshmallow filling, and they raced to finish them. After she ingested the desserts, Udina was seen covering her mouth and patting her chest. As she walked away from the contest table, footage captured by the venue's CCTV cameras showed her collapsing near the bar. Friends rushed to her aid. Her mouth was still full of cake and they were unable to clear the blockage. An ambulance crew quickly arrived at the scene, but they were unable to save her. Number 8. Unnamed Romanian Man. In October of 2013, an unnamed Romanian man passed away shortly after winning a sausage-eating contest. The incident, which was caught on video, took place during the 6th edition of an annual sausage festival in a village called Burka. The 60-year-old had won the competition, which reportedly also involved eating bread along with the sausages. As he walked up to the microphone for his acceptance speech, the man passed out. Organizers and bystanders tried to help him, but it took some time before paramedics arrived at the scene. The organizers hadn't provided the on-site emergency medical assistance that's typically a requirement for such competitions. Many believed that the man had suffered a heart attack, which is why they didn't perform the Heimlich maneuver, which could have saved his life. By the time paramedics arrived and attempted to remove the obstruction, it was already too late. The man died, and a coroner's report confirmed that asphyxiation had been the cause. Number 7. Caitlin Nelson. In 2017, student Caitlin Nelson suffocated to death after choking during a pancake eating contest. The 20-year-old was the vice president of community service at the Kappa Delta sorority of Sacred Heart University in Connecticut. While taking part in the Greek life competitive eating event, Nelson had downed 4 to 5 pancakes. A nursing student who was attending the contest recognized that a young woman was in distress. She caught Nelson and slowly brought her to the ground. She began CPR, and within minutes, emergency responders arrived at the scene. They unsuccessfully tried to clear the obstruction from Nelson's airways. She was taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center and then transferred to Columbia University Hospital, where she passed away. Nelson suffered from food allergies, but had taken the necessary precautions before entering the contest. Her death wasn't a consequence of anaphylactic shock, as initially believed, but suffocation. Thousands of students attended a memorial vigil for Nelson in the aftermath of her passing. Number 6. Dana Hutchins. On August the 13th of 2019, a taco eating contest was held at Chuck Chansey Park in Fresno, California, in honor of a minor league baseball game between the Fresno Grizzlies and the Memphis Redbirds. 41-year-old Dana Hutchins took part in the competition and was rapidly eating the Mexican dish. Witnesses at the taco truck throwdown claimed that he'd gained an early lead before he suddenly started choking. Hutchins was given medical assistance on site in the form of CPR and defibrillator shocks before being transferred to a local hospital. Unfortunately, doctors were unable to save his life. In April of 2021, Hutchins' family filed a lawsuit against Fresno Sports and the Grizzlies owners, seeking undisclosed monetary damages. The suit alleged that in contrast with the setting of professional competitive eating events, the participants in the amateur contest hadn't been informed about the dangers they'd be facing. The trial is ongoing, but a crucial task that the family's lawyers would have to accomplish is proving that Hutchins had no way of knowing he was risking his life. Number 5. Shabashadav. In 2019, Indian man Shabashadav and a friend were at the Bibiganj market in the Jaunpur district of Uttar Pradesh. An argument broke out between the two and they decided to settle it via an eating challenge in which Yadav had to consume 50 hard-boiled eggs. The bet would have seen him win the equivalent of $28. It's unclear if a scene from the 1967 movie Cool Hand Luke had served as inspiration for the challenge. In it, the lead, played by Paul Newman, downs 50 eggs as part of a bet. However, due to clever editing, Newman only ate about 8. Yadav was determined to show his friend that it could be done. The challenge took a dark turn as the 42-year-old was preparing to eat his 42nd egg. He fell unconscious and had to be rushed to the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences. Doctors tried to help Yadav, but he ultimately succumbed to complications stemming from overeating. The man's family refused to comment on the incident. Number 4. Travis Malouf. In 2017, 42-year-old Travis Malouf was taking part in an eating contest at a donut shop in Denver, Colorado. According to Fox News, the Voodoo Donuts event wasn't professionally sanctioned. In 80 seconds or less, competitors had to consume a donut that was about the size of a small birthday cake. It was a rough equivalent to 6 regularly sized products. Malouf still had part of the half-pound donut in his hand when he collapsed. His airways had become completely blocked. According to his mother, Malouf's friends had tried CPR and the Heimlich maneuver, but to no avail. He died at the scene. Number 3. Andrew Lee. In 2008, aspiring chef Andrew Lee and his girlfriend's brother Michael challenged each other to see who could make the hottest chili sauce. 33-year-old Lee, a forklift driver from Doncaster, England, had recently passed a physical at work and was declared to be in perfect health. His father had supplied the homegrown chili used to make the sauce for the contest. Both Lee and Michael tried the sauce, which was described as ultra hot, but Lee, presumably in an attempt to win the contest while also proving he could withstand the heat, ate about a plateful of it. Afterwards, he went to bed with his girlfriend. She claimed that he'd started to experience intense discomfort and was itching all over. Lee fell asleep with her scratching his back. The next morning, the woman awoke to find him unresponsive. The emergency services were called, but Lee was beyond saving, as he'd succumbed to heart failure. His death wasn't believed to have been due to an excessive intake of capsaicin, the active component in the chili, but rather that he'd suffered a severe allergic reaction. Today's topic was requested by Geek and Scotty Lewis. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 2. Unnamed Australian woman. On Australia Day 2020, an unnamed woman died in a cake-eating competition held at the Beach House Hotel in Hervey Bay, Queensland. To mark the holiday, contestants raced to eat lamingtons, a traditional sponge cake covered in chocolate and coconut flakes. Footage emerged of other patrons encouraging the participants, who each had glasses of water next to them, meant to aid with ingestion. According to witnesses, the 60-year-old woman started to experience breathing difficulties after cramming one of the cakes in her mouth. She was reported to have suffered a seizure. Resuscitation was performed on her at the scene for over half an hour by staff members. The woman was then transported to a local hospital where she was later pronounced dead. Number 1. Dao Fatnassi. In December of 2012, Tunisian man Dao Fatnassi died following a dare that involved him eating dozens of raw eggs. 20-year-old Fatnassi's friends had agreed to give him an undisclosed sum of money if he successfully completed the challenge of eating 28 raw eggs. He managed to do so but started complaining of intense stomach pain shortly afterwards. Fatnassi tried to reach the Hospital Les Aglabides in Kawan but died in transit. The world record for most eggs consumed was set by American competitive eater Joey Chestnut, who in just 8 minutes ate 141 hard-boiled eggs. However, unlike Fatnassi, Chestnut had trained extensively for the feat. As a multiple world record holder in competitive eating, Chestnut's preparation involved periods of fasting and stretching his stomach with water and protein supplements. For the uninitiated, overeating in a short period of time can primarily result in choking, but also fatal intestinal blockages. Thanks for watching. Would you give up your favorite food if you could only eat it competitively? Let us know in the comments section below.